Just us? Where are the others? Is Dwarric taking their place?
Never. All this thought and no action bores me. I'm just the beast waiting to be unleashed. I sent a starry to the Zenestrin vault as I watched through his eyes. We found the artifacts that will aid our cause. More than anticipated. I asked Larbel, Kamas, and Radek to identify their powers and learn every purpose of their use. So, let us begin.
Our demands have been sent to Dunian, along with a crate full of crowns. That should be enough enticement to hand over Vone.
I have my brigade building an outpost along the road between the cities. The Sons will accept Vone from Dunian there, killing him while he's locked in chains. The remaining task will be up to our new pet king. Convince the people of Sinestra that their Nadirian neighbor refused our request. The Rex now protects the same man who attacked our territory.
It doesn't take much to insult Zenestrin pride. We'll probably hear the cries of protest on that night. Psigmaa, I am curious about Asteri. What did you find in the king's vault?
The turret staves of the Iliac, made from the moon fragments of Daedima, and found on Telush as the meteor that caused the crater of Nadiria. There is a land underneath the Antlion, where the rest of the shards remain. Uniting them will cause the moon to seek what it's lost and pull Moseo in front of the sun, eliciting an eclipse that would not occur for another millennia.
An eclipse? By Moseo? While we are in the constellation of the Fullblade, what is the meaning?
The event is the catalyst necessary to conjure the Black Void.
Psigmaa places a wax-sealed scroll on a table.
Every shadow will learn this spell by the next dawn. The Black Void was given to me by the Nativity, a magic to create a black hole, pulling the energy from everyone on the battlefield, spreading it to random sectors of the universe. The light it captures will manifest there for ages, growing, adapting, even building new star systems like ours. Little trophies for the demons to find once they put an end to our world. Thus we need to propagandize all sides and make this conflict as populated as possible.
I cannot dream of a vision more beautiful. But even if we get to Daedima's stone, how will we concentrate on chanting with war around us?
Dwarric, tell them what you and the Sons have in mind. We're fortifying our siege towers will allow your casting to be undistracted. Once we roll you into place, the bottom layer will release a drill, carving an underground pathway to the shards. My men will go unnoticed and claim what we need, as long as your essence holds strong.
Consider it done. Anyone approaching the shadows will be incinerated. One last thing, Psigmaa. Our rising son Symer knows more about this Redren character. It may not be useful, but perhaps it could contribute to the propaganda you require.
Of course, Griselda. I will speak with him.
Farmaka!
Barukai walks into the temple and relaxes her stern facade. She puts her face close to the Farmaka's, pressing her left cheek against hers. A deep inhale is snuffed through her nose, a strange tradition to share scent inside and out.
Farmaka is named while you away. Name Fatina Lam when here.
I am...
Wrap up! I know who you are. When Farmaka before me depart, he tell me to embrace the Rothschild of Barukai when she returned, and learn from her.
That's strange. Before Farmaka told me same thing about you.
You spend night here. We talk everything. Who dat?
Fatina Lam darts her tongue at Vone.
This outside Farmaka you bring?
Nah, but wise he is. Against all men, Vone is strong heart and focus. He helped me learn. Humans on outside are odd. They say one thing, but act on the other. Give something nice, expect return. They hunt power in different ways, and the good are few.
Why is your return?
Living with others has shown evil. Humans hurt other humans and take their stuff. They treat animals like slave and feel good while do it. But that not bring my return. I saw evil below evil, and it about to march across all lands. Vone gave me new vision.
Vone, tell me tale of when birth till now.
I do not have the time to go over 166 years. I am here to warn you of your impending death and devise a plan to fight back.
166? We depart about 66. Outside humans live this long?
No, I have the gift of eternity, granted by the restless dead. But it will not be enough to save you. I only fight for the ghost, and I need those alive to be willing to fight for themselves. We asked a nearby city to gather their army, but they refused. With the peaceful Fontiquidins by our side, ready to defend Aeoleos, we may convince others to join our mutual cause.
Fatina Lam holds a smoking pipe made from bone and drags through a great deal of smog.
I see them. So many spirits in one body. You are strange.
She takes a few more puffs before one nostril blasts the smoke out.
We not follow you. Reason no good. Ghost of animal return here, most tortured by outside humans. The soul not free, still locked in cage. Obtain the spirit of animals, help their restless souls too. Then me think again. Our people do not involve with war and wealth. We live above this. We not had to defend jungle in many age. Life is good. No need for that.
The curse I bear will not allow it. I am uniquely possessed by the souls of the innocent humans. Every action I take is led by their will. We find ourselves at an impasse.
I understand problem you have. Body human, but mind is something else. If mind has no control of will, then lost ability to love. One without love has no fear. How do you expect to unite humans without touching to what they are?
Vone is taken back. His portrayed humanity was only developed by past memories, influenced by his own imagination. The curse of the Wraith made him ageless, but took away all that was human. No one is fooled by his guise, except for himself.
Wrap up! I has just the thing. Keona!
Oh shit!
Keona!
From the tooth bead curtain crawls a slow-moving turtle. In between its mossy shell are sprouts of long, thin mushrooms growing like veins. Fatina pulls a tangled strand from its back and scratches its saggy neck.
These Sarakata mushrooms will take you to Stolminds, a place to recenter your soul, match ego with reason, strengthen mind. This what you need? A curse we must break? Sarakata only once for you?
Sarakata why Sigma's power no affect me. Lots of mushrooms.
We are taught to humble weaknesses and invite strength of others when we not strong. The animals have love and loyalty. We have technique and foresight. The battle is not always on the outside. Often it comes from within. It does not take a Farmaka to see the turmoil inside you.
With a mortar and pestle, Fatina mashes the mushrooms and adds some ginger and honey to taste. She wraps it in a cloth, pouring hot water over it, funneling the tea into a cup.
Remove your armor and follow Keona Turtle back inside. Lay in thick water with it, talk with it, and drink Sarakada. It not understand you, but you hear own words. Reflect. Vone will find Vone again.
He enters the room just in time to watch the turtle plop into the murky water. The creature looks at him with a twisted head.
Do I just sit in the water? How will I get the spirits to notice me?
No response from the women. Fatina and Barukai are speaking, but no voice is heard.
Must be a barrier for privacy. This is ridiculous.
The water feels like tree sap, and the air is salty. As odd as it sounds, the smell is pleasant when paired with the tea.
Keona, is that your name or the type of creature you are?
The turtle bumps its head against Vone's arm, demanding a pet.
All right. You have 5 minutes alone with me. That's all you'll get. Then I'll leave your beautiful, yet insane village. This room carries the same ocean scent like the ports back at home.
He remembers the men talking at the bar, his home, a place that is no more. Realizing that his short visit was the last experience he would ever have to remember. The attack from the immolators, the killing at the pub.
I shouldn't dwell on a past life when so many others never had a chance to live.
The turtle gives a grim look into Vone's eyes.
What's the matter, boy? You expect me to sell a crooked sword? If your right arm is tired, then hammer with your left.
The voice of Vone's father comes from the reptile's beak, back at the blacksmith's shop when he was a child.
Listen, life is aggression, and aggression devours the weak. You must treat both arms as equal. Now put that hammer in your left hand and get that edge straight, or you, me, your mother and sister won't be eating tonight. Father!
The turtle slides away into the distance, being pulled with such speed that it takes the light with it. He turns to Barukai, but only sees a wall of sand sinking through at the center.
What?
The room turns on its side, tossing Vone into the pit. Floating through the darkness of his mind, Vone begins to see tiny specks of light, like the twinkling stars in a black sky, drifting closer, taking shape. He realizes that these are the souls that seek his retribution. Vone is seeing his personal version of the Undone. He reflects on his teachings of Intramortica, the language of the dead. The distant memories of his first pedagogue come to mind.
We are created from the same dust this planet was made from. Humans often forget that Tellus has a conscience the same way as we do. And like us, its purpose remains a mystery. Atemia's first lessons of the Undone.
Vone was taught that there are 2 types of spirits that remain here. The anchored, sinners who stand still, their head always facing away as you try to look into them. The Anchored had the ability to uplift Tellus, to progress evolution for them and for what's to come, to create a better way for more of the loving living, but chose not to. Addicted to the satisfactions of the present provided by the sweat of their peers, with no intent to give back. The Anchored are made up of liars, thieves, the workless and the gluttonous, the suicidal. The second is the Unbound, the souls of good and evil who brought true judgment on themselves. They went through the pains of tearing apart their ego, shedding layers of human emotion, a complete disconnect from the ways of Tellus. Life is creation, but death is regression, becoming undone. A blank soul is born of the Genner ghosts, as one must return in the same manner. When the task is finished, they often delay their departure by wandering the undone one final time. The unbound are the unborn, the children, the defective who could not understand their actions, along with the hateful souls that cast their anger towards the darkness, surrendering to the Genner ghosts for another chance to make things right. What Vone discovers now is a third type Atimia never spoke of, which is the majority. Souls that are unsinful, ready to become an unbound, with one last tie to the sinned, but cannot bring themselves to let go. Circling their anchored loved one, trying to see their face once more, they accumulate through the generations, resembling the spiral shape of a galaxy. Parents, offspring, relative, friend, lover, all strung together, anchored because of one flawed soul. Vone must make this new discovery known by giving it a name: the Tethered.
For shame. The sinner waits for me to achieve their retribution, while their family suffers in silence.
Crystallized shards of light drift by. Vone reaches out and grabs it. A memory is held in his hand. He hears the sounds of the family forge and watches the scene unfold.
That's me. The night I returned home and found my father dead.
Between the long voyages to become a Wraithsayer, Vone had only seen his family twice in 40 years, and one of those visits were they alive. This memory was the latter, a pile of stones over the grave of his mother and his father's corpse lying in bed. Months have gone by, disregarded by all, even his children. Vone went outside to the forge to fetch a shovel. As he opened the shop, he saw the most pristine axe resting on an anvil. A masterwork weapon made by his father, a gift for his only son. Angry with himself, he took a hammer and beat the axe.
I abandoned them! I did not deserve such an offering!
The tips of the weapon folded down but did not break, a testament to the craft and care that went into its design. He tried to sunder the weapon but could not. Stopping to catch his breath, he found an answer within the mighty steel. He saw the fangs of Maxilla.
That was the night I swore myself to the Genner ghosts. I wanted to make my family proud.
The memory fades. Vone contemplates on how this light came to be.
The soul of a Wraithsayer expands outside its normal frame. These must be parts of my soul that have been pushed out.
His taste for the past is not satisfied. Vone snatches another crystal.
Atimia!
The ancient grounds of Intramortica, the temple of Phantasma Fane. A place where the writings of the Wraithsayer originated before people developed its powers. Vone watching the 16-year-old version of himself being instructed by his first pedagogue to enter alone.
There are many wanders inside Phantasma Fane, but few dare to venture inside the haunted temple. If it deems you worthy of Intramortica, the spirits will allow you to take an artifact. If not, well, then I will have to find a new student.
Be it bravery or ignorance, Vone walks in. Stumbling around the temple for days, cold and wet, hypothermia creeps over his body. He finds a dry robe that carries the smell of old bones and wraps himself in it. That cloth cursed him with eternity, as it was the stitchings of the Wraith. The cloak spoke to him, knowledge he could not comprehend, and warned him of the intent of Atimia. As a Wraithsayer is a powerful being, power is corrupting. The final ability of Intramortica is an act of preservation, soul jarring. The power to take your expanded soul and place it within another body. The resident soul will be discarded for the new host, but the body will remain the same. The Wraith shows Vone all the students who tried to obtain the temple's gift, but were torn apart by its curse. Boys the same age as Vone that Atimia was willing to discard. Finally, Atimia has found the successor of the cloak, and plans to soul jar into Vone to steal its power. 3 days later, Vone exits Phantasma Fane, skinny and pale, feet shuffling across the sand towards Atimia's tent.
I knew you were the one, the child chosen to walk this world for the dead. What did you find? Vone, are you all right?
Filled with the anger from his mentor's deception, piecing together the lies that convinced Vone to do this man's bidding, a pit of disgust sits in his gut. Is this what it means to be a Wraithsayer? To be used as a pawn by the living and the dead? Vone wanted to show himself that he was still in control. Without responding back to the pedagogue, he throws on the Wraith and pulls out his hatchet.
Vone, stop this. Think of what you're doing.
Atimia was chopped down into a pile of shredded flesh, his head concave by the heel of Vone's boot, past the point of being able to speak through Intramortica. Vone spits at the ground and says,
Try and sway me now, Wraithsayer.
The memory dissipates, Vone engulfed by darkness as if he was put into a tomb. All the spirits and memories have disappeared. A voice whispers his name from above. Vone looks up and sees the dead residents compiled together as if they formed a blockade around the grave. Each one facing him, staring into his eyes. He came for their attention, but was not prepared to speak once he obtained it.
I am not here to question your will, but I am to beg for the release from it. We must fight for the living in this war against the suns, or else many more will die. I have given my life for your retribution, and it is not enough to keep up with the troubled souls. If we do not postpone our mission, countless more will be doomed to seek their vengeance. The reality that Psigmaa can collapse the Getter ghosts must be recognized. We know Tellus will not last forever, but what is our purpose together if we do not try? I am asking for you to free my humanity, just this once. If I live through this battle with the suns, you can use my eternity until it breaks. Remember your human side. All the pain and suffering you live through will be passed to the innocent if we do not set this world right.
A series of doors open up along the blackness. Souls of green light pour through. The spirit of animals walk in. flooding Vone's realm of the undone. His heart beats faster, remembering what it feels like to age. His eternity was rescinded for now.
My friends, I thank you.
Disrupted, the ghosts turn to the center of the sound and slowly fade from sight. One spirit remained, pounding a blade that rests between the hammer and his anvil.
Father?
He does not know if this is another memory or if this is the true spirit of his father. Is this experience real or is it fake? Vone cannot take much more of these tricks. The urge to regain control is driving him mad.
My son, I waited all this time until you faced what you have forgotten. Why? Where is the rest of our family? They have made peace where I have not. I stayed for you, as you are the sinned. I do not understand. Was it my leaving that has wronged you? No. It is your promise to eternity. I am proud of you. Only my son could take such a curse and use it to fight for the right cause. But it is not what we are meant for. You must face your own end. I despise this part of you as much as you hated Atemia's quest for it. Is this your excuse to avoid death? I need your word. Tell me you will liberate yourself from this muddled fear so that we may both become unbound together. There is so much treachery in Tellus. I cannot bear the torment of these souls. Who will avenge them if I do not? That is not your concern. Vone, there comes a point where you must trust in the Genner ghosts. Admit to yourself that this is not your fight any longer. As the guide to the undone, your actions are true, but don't you see? You are as lost as they, holding onto a purpose. Come to me. I have made something for you in death, just as I did in life.
His father pulls the blade from the metal, dips it in the forge of light, and holds it up.
The Iper sword of the undone. The edge you will need to conquer your foe. I want you to take this weapon and finish the last chapter of your life.
Vone, in tears, embraces the blade.
My undone, I ask for your forgiveness. I will put an end to Psigmaa and allow my death to occur after his. I promise. Father!
Father.
Is this some kind of cruel joke? Was that real or not?
Very much real. Something about you different. And that blade glows like the star. We laugh because, why not? Life difficult enough.
Vone looks at the golden glow of Mandible.
Then that was amazing.
Brap-up. I sense ancestors of animal apparitions. If they follow you, we follow you.
Vone has won the trust of both tribe and beast. Barukai, awarded protector of the Farmaka. and the ceremony held to announce a successor in case Fatina Lam were to fall in battle. The first time this tribe has seen the world outside their own. It is met with exhilaration. For a people who have avoided conflict for generations, all are well prepared for war. The creatures equipped with special armor to heighten their elemental powers. Even Radel struts around in new attire. Trinkets and rations strapped in crates to the sides of their larger companions, ready to leave the jungles of Fontiquida and embark across the land to Nadiria. Barukai and Vone discuss their next steps. The renewed Wraithsayer will convince ordinary men to fight for their home. Dunian's lack of action will conjure up mob rule, too loud to be ignored by his representatives. If the Rex will not defend his citizens, then Vone will show them how to defend themselves. The morale will spark and spread, reinforced by an army of magical beasts. As they get closer to the Crater Kingdom, the lush green lands transform into stone and sand. The road is cracked and sunken into the mud. The tearings of wagon wheels have left their story on the beaten path.
Erect a camp at the edge of the trees and establish a watch. We will scout for any dangers ahead.
Why not send birds?
No, I do not want the people of Nadiria to see the tribe until they fully understand the reason behind their approach.
Radel, stay with camp.
Vone and Barukai run ahead to an exchange that splits the road. A path to Zenestra and one towards Nadiria. Vone fears every mound of sand that cuts their view, expecting it to be an ambush set by Vanadium knights. They hear the rumbling of horses coming up from Zenestra and conceal themselves from sight.
I know that voice. He is from Land's End.
He good? Bad? I break horse legs?
No, wait. He is with someone. Oh, Redren! Hey, over here!
Vone? He's alive, and he's happy. I asked Kusei to invite Vone and his companion on the wagon. My new friend said he knew him well. A fair customer and a local legend from his old home. Vone was accompanied by a Vanadium soldier, but I did not second guess his judge of character. Of course, then I did not know of her. I greeted Barukai with an open heart and discovered she was a lot like me. Caught up in the service of battle, just to have your countrymen turn against you. They told me of their adventures and listened to mine. I pledged to join in Vone's fight. After all, he is the man who liberated me from my descending life. I would gladly risk death as long as it's against the men who deem Erlo as a hero. Even if I chose to run and live for now, the aftermath of Zenestra's rule over Aeoleos will surely haunt me. Now is the time to take a stand. I will speak with the Rex on behalf of Vone. He and my father had a great history together, until Dunian's vote on the council labeled Darvum a traitor to the king. His choice to separate himself from his friend may have been his only way to survive, but he must be told there is nowhere else to hide. The reunion was over too quickly. Before we knew it, we were at the stairs of Nadiria. I walked down into the crater to the center of the pit where the throne room was, all the while repeating the words I was going to say. To my surprise, the Rex saw me right away, as if he was expecting me. "Dunian, I spoke with the people as they fled to you. I gave them comfort by reminding them to keep their hope just as they kept their lives. They will fight for what they have lost. They just need to know they have your support. As for the citizens, ask them to take a deeper look into the situation. Their fate could have been just as harsh had they been born under a different set of stars. Isn't this what you and my father fought against back then? The struggle to deface tyranny never stops. Ignorance. Think you can raise an army with broken men? What they accumulated over the course of generations was just torn away. All their work, their culture, history, all of it. They are nothing now. Immigrants cannot simply start over from nothing. Some will die begging for a handout. Some will take their hatred out on others. And some will work until they break under the pressure of being lesser men. They'll either figure it out or not. Let me tell my tale to them. If they rally against the idea of fighting, then I will pledge my life to your service. However, if they unite, you must give Vone a chance to lead them. I will seal my promise with the favored spell of Darvum, a binding to the oath. Please. Oh, fine. There's no need for magic. You should know that Vanadium already offered crowns for you and the others. For your father, I kept it a secret that you were here. You see, they fear Vone. They know he is the only one that can start this revolution against Zenestra. Goodbye, Rex. I will prepare my speech tonight. Redren, stop. Let me ask you this. Do you believe in all this nonsense of demons, beginner ghosts? I don't know, but I do believe in Vone. I left Rex's hall and found a remote inn at the outskirts, a peaceful place for me to clear my head. Vone and Barukai were gone. I did not know if they went back to the encampment or if they started speaking to the commoners. Either way, I needed to not be distracted by the company. Thinking of the words, all the ways they can be strung together to inspire. But as I recited, it did not feel right. It was not my place to lead with a tribute about honor. Perhaps I can deliver my message clearly with a song. Now that is something I can write in my sleep. I put the quill down, grabbed my sityl, and laid into bed. I thought of measures and melodies until the night brought me to rest. My farm. Is this a dream? It feels so real.
Yep, that's his cottage, boys. Let's leave a little message to the ladies, shall we?
That voice. Urlo. Am I watching through his eyes? No.
Moga! Addy! Yeah, how about a little appreciation for our service? Psigmaa, enough!
Psigmaa?
Sorry, sweetheart. You're gonna have to wait for me. I guess my brother would like to go first. There you go! Psigmaa, my brigade does not act like this. We're supposed to scare them, not harm them. The fight is with Redren, not his women. Psigmaa, look out! She has a knife! Ah! You bitch! No! Grab the little one. She's mine now. Keep the pressure on his neck! Hey! Stay awake, Symphonic. Ah, she's dead. Everyone out, now!
Mommy?
I'm sorry, youngling. I didn't come here for this. Being my brother's prisoner is far worse than death. I hope you understand. This is for your own good.
No. Please, no.
No!
I awoke in a panic and was brought back into my hole of misery without the brew to ease it. I could not fight the tears. I could not sleep. A knock at the door.
Leave me alone! Redren, I'm sorry. I have seen what you've seen. We all have. Look outside your window.
I opened the shutter and saw the townsfolk standing in candlelight. They were humming songs and crying for me.
They know. A nightmare hex from the shadows. The truth is out. Psigmaa wants this fight.
Thank you very much for listening to episode 5. Fatina greatly appreciates you supporting this project. Please send the Farmaka your thoughts or things you would like to see come to light. Message me directly over Facebook or Discord. Links to the social media are at the bottom of the website, projectfullblade.com.